What's up, guys? This video is a little bit different. I've been dealing with migraines again lately, so to help with that, I am practicing something my therapist told me to do, in that I am working on this Lego set. It is a Paris architecture set. So as you can see, I'm trying to get it open, and I'm going to see if this helps with some of the symptoms that I've been dealing with. Now, it took me over 2 hours to do this set, so I did speed it up. I am going through the book right here to see where to get started. It was 2 bags, 2 small bags and 2 big bags, and I'm just seeing where to get started. So now I'm opening the first big bag and the first little bag and getting started. I sped it up to 4 times so that you guys don't have to see the entire process. Cut the video from 2 hours down to about 30 minutes, and I even cut some of the footage out for you guys. Milo even decided to make a guest appearance and stuck his big old head in the frame, so I had to adjust the camera a little bit so he wasn't blocking your view. Right here, Milo and I are having a conversation about him being in the way. Taking a little phone break. Seeing where my next steps are. Making sure I'm grabbing the right pieces. This is my third architecture set at this point. Prior to this, I've done London, and I forgot the other set that I did. New York. London and New York. Milo eventually got settled on the end of the bed, and I was making good progress on the base. This was actually a pretty easy set to do. As you can see, I'm picking up the pieces I need, finding the pieces I'm needing, rather easy. Doing my stretching exercises in between. If you see me picking up the remote, that's because I had YouTube playing in the background and commercials was coming on. So as I'm picking up the remote, I'm skipping past those commercials. Right here, I am finishing the first building. Rather small building that you can barely see at this point, but it was pretty pretty easy to do. In the beginning, it seemed like some of the pieces wasn't staying together, but I managed to get it to stay together. And the next building was pretty simple. So right here, I am putting the second building together, pretty much in my hands, and then as I'm putting it together, you'll see the board is pretty much clearing up. I thought I was putting the second building together. That is going to be coming together in just a moment here. Most of those colored pieces that you see on the board there are for the second building. Those are going to be the internal pieces of the second building, and then the black and gray pieces that you see on the board there are going to make the outside pieces of that second building. Alright, so now I'm making that second building. So as you see, I'm doing it pretty much in my hand. Double checking the instructions just to make sure I'm doing it right. I'm still not doing the second building. I'm doing something else. Dropped the piece, had to go find it. Stretch break. If you hear blowing in my background right now, that's my HVAC. Okay, now I'm doing the internal part of the second building. And pretty much once the second building is done, that's going to wrap up that first bag, and you're going to see the board there pretty much clear up. Okay, so the internal part of the second building is done, and now I am working on the external part of the second building, which the external part of the second building was like 4 pieces. It was 2 big pieces and then 2 small pieces. And then once I had that part done, I had to do like the feet of the building to make sure that it could stand up. Alright, so I'm putting the finishing touches on that second building and about to go ahead and put it on the board. And then I tried showing it to you guys, moved a little too fast there. Now it's time for a foam break and a soda break before moving on to the second bag. For the most part, the second bag was just as easy as the first bag. As you can see, I'm pretty much running through some of those parts like I was in the first bag. It wasn't to the end that I kind of started having issues with the Eiffel Tower. Alright, so here is a progress check coming up. It's pretty much done. I just gotta do the Eiffel Tower at this point. The problem with the Eiffel Tower is that it's not a stable structure. All levels of the Eiffel Tower sway and move, I guess, to mimic the real Eiffel Tower. And as I'm trying to assemble it, certain parts of it is coming apart. So I was struggling with it. As you can see, that arch kept coming off. trying to read through the instructions to make sure I'm doing it right. And as I stated before, finding the parts wasn't the hard part. It was just making sure that I was assembling them the correct way and in the right order. But it was those moving parts that kept messing me up on the Eiffel Tower. And then I thought I had put the base parts on the correct way, but at the end you'll see that I had to move some of those base parts around to get the Eiffel Tower to go on the right way. All right, so right here is where I'm about to put the base. Try to put the Eiffel Tower on the first time, and realize that some of the base parts are not on the right way. So now I'm switching the pieces around before making the second attempt. And in the end, my Eiffel Tower didn't look like the Eiffel Tower in the picture, but I know what it's supposed to look like, so I'm not too messed up about it. And in the end, I can always rebuild it to make it look more perfect, but I am satisfied with the job that I did, and understanding that it is not always going to be 100% perfect. But I'm happy with it. And as you can see, it wasn't a whole lot of pieces left. Get the little French flag up there. And here is the final reveal. After this, I scanned the barcode and entered it into my Lego app so that the bricks count towards my Lego completion goals or whatever. And that's what I did to help that day with my migraine. Stay tuned for the next project.